Welcome to the Dave Darin Show. Very cool evening or daytime or morning, right? It's morning, right?
It is morning time.
10 a.m. Now, let me ask you a question. We're talking here with Jesse Val from Phoenix, Arizona, Mesa, Glendale, Gilbert. Where are you from?
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale. Wow.
Yeah.
Last night.
Really from San Diego,
San Diego.
California.
So you really do go to places where they only have the fake boob jobs, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm playing in Scottsdale actually on February 3rd, so I don't know if there's going to be any boob jobs going in there, but we'll see.
No, there's going to be boob jobs and blow jobs. You're a good-looking guy. Trust me, you'll get laid in Scottsdale quite easily. Trust me. If an ugly guy like me can get laid in Scottsdale, you're going to have no trouble. Don't worry about
it. That's nice. I'm a married man.
Oh, you're a married man.
I am a married man.
Oh, okay. Well, how long you been married? That's unfortunate for all the women who are probably trying to hook up with you, right? You get that.
Well, they can have the music.
Oh, okay. That's
it's
cool.
there. It'll soothe. It'll give them what they need.
All right. So now, since you're a married guy, you don't have a hangover this morning. Like you're not a party animal. No hangover. No, you don't. So in other words, you don't need to take a commercial break for me to let you go vomit or anything like that, right?
Well, no, not this morning.
Nope.
I did pound a beer last night. That was pretty good.
You had one beer?
No, a couple. You know.
Oh, okay, there you go. Where'd you play last night? Were you out playing?
No, I just played in the room.
Okay.
That's where I songwrite. Do all my writing. But I am playing in Focal on February 3rd.
Okay, now that's
Arizona.
Okay, now that's a place I've never been to. I don't live in Phoenix anymore, but I heard about that place. Is that relatively new?
It is new, and it's captured the scene's heart because it's a Vietnamese restaurant, and you walk in there, and there's a stage on the side, and you feel the music immediately. It's there.
Yeah.
And so everybody's playing there. The soul of the place is just getting more and more. And so it just makes you it gets you even more hungry,
Yeah, cool. That's a cool. Like I've been told about that place. I think from the guy from the Pleasure Victims, Nigel or something.
Yeah, Nigel. He's a cool cat.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He used to do radio with me, by the way. Did you know he used to do radio? Did you have any idea?
No. I've been on the scene here in Phoenix for about 4 years now, and I always keep to myself. I just write music. That's and so all the other stories, it's not my bag.
Oh, so so now I understand why you never heard of me before, because usually people think I am a fucking nightmare. So
what?
I'll tell you why. Because when I used to do radio in Phoenix, so I did the show for like 4 years in Phoenix, right?
Right.
Which you don't know. I did it on a bunch of stations, right? So then I used to shout out the bands that didn't support the show, didn't support the radio personalities, because there's not a whole lot of us left, right? There are not. Trust me, there are not. I know that there's like Erica who lives in Phoenix. I don't know if you ever heard of her. I forget her last name. There's some guy that does some metal show like Rick somebody Ortez or Lenz or something like that. There's this guy. But there's very few of us. So when I used to have the bands come on, I said, you know what? You guys, if I stayed in Phoenix, which I had to get the fuck out because no one was supporting the live radio music scene in Phoenix, because I think everyone thinks that every radio personality works for corporate radio where they got that big billboard up there on top of highways. And for the guys that don't have that, we need you guys to support us so we can support you so we all grow together. So I used to shout out the fucking venues that didn't support us, the bands that didn't help the show grow. So right. I'm a loud guy because I'm from the East Coast. I am loud, I'm noisy, I'm obnoxious. So that's why I'm back in the East Coast, right?
Well,
I'm
listen,
loud, noisy, and obnoxious.
It's hard. Trust me, I am a very honest person. So telling people the honest truth, it hurts. Even when people tell me the honest truth, it's like, oh man, it stings. But you know what? It is. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You're gonna play the game, and you want this and that. Well, you got to put in.
Yeah. Because if you listen to radio in Phoenix or New York or Philadelphia, it's the same here as well. It's not unique to Phoenix, but the problem is you'll have your classic rock stations. You've got your Beyonce, Justin Bieber stations, and that's it. There is no new music that's being introduced out there, and it's the fault also of the radio personalities who have just settled to make 25 to 28 to 32,000, and they just become corporate radio guys that just spin the track. So I even shout out the radio personalities. So everyone fucking hates me. Right?
Well, let me let you in, man. It's a great time to be alive as an artist right now because you're an artist in the
Yeah.
radio industry. I'm an artist in the music industry, and what's happening is I think there's a psychological shift happening. People are becoming aware again. You know, it's almost like we were under a spell from the corporate media and all their little, well-produced songs and stuff, which is great because there's a lot of great music out there.
Uh-huh.
But I think people are looking back into their hearts now, and they're starting to play what they feel, and it's great because you can feel it on the scene now. A lot of people they're in it because they're doing it for what they love, not for how much they can get paid.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's pretty cool. That is cool. And I see that as well. And I think you're right. We gotta expedite that and make sure it keeps growing, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to lead by example. And so that's, as a songwriter, one of the things that gets me is it's hard for me to be like, let me make a song sound like that. Where my music, it's always whatever comes through in my head, that's just what I'm playing, whether it's a soft song, a harder song, or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. And so that being the art, I'm doing it because it's in my soul, not because I want $1 million or anything like that. I can't stop playing.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so let's not stop playing. Let's play a song right now. Now you're going to do a live show here with us. You got a
Here's one. I got a music video out for this one. This one's called "Educated." I wrote this a couple years back, but it's one of my favorites. Can you feel it all? Oh, no, world is changing. Do you hear the dead man's call? 'Cause I won't wait a minute of our life when I'm already there. Oh, I got me this energy where I can do anything. If you want it, then take my hand, and we'll get educated. Now you are made it enough to know you're alive. No, don't be a good thing. See through the sharp night, and I won't wait a minute of our life when I'm already dead. Oh, I got me this energy where I can do anything. If you want it, then take my hand, and we'll get educated. Are you educated?
All right, very cool, awesome, man.
Man.
That's some new wheels, new guitar, isn't it? I think I saw.
This is my baby. This is my first ever Taylor 114 CE, and it's the only guitar that I have that's left-handed.
You know, I was curious because, I'm doing the video here, and I know that sometimes I've done mostly right-hand guitar players. I thought, well, what did this guy do with his cell phone to make it look like he's left-handed? But I'm telling you, if you were single, you'd be getting laid. You're a great musician, good hairstyle, left-handed guitar player. Man, unbelievable.
No, it's just about living. It is just about living, you know. And I
Well,
can't put this thing down, man. I'm telling you.
Now, what made you pick out? What made you pick out a Taylor? Because I'm a guitar player too. I play Taylors, hummingbirds, the guilds, and all that. What made you pick it up?
I deserve it. My wife bought this for me.
Okay.
You know, it's I didn't pick it; it picked me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things, and this is what people are always forgetting. They're never listening to their instinct anymore. People have forgotten that. People don't meditate and they don't listen to their body anymore. I was walking in Guitar Center, and obviously something was pulling me to the corner. It was like, hey, come over here. I'm here. And so here was the guitar, and I didn't pick it up, but, you know, I left, and for a couple days, just in my head, it was like, hey, you need to come get me. Like, I'm ready to come home. And so, in my world, I never think about what the price is or anything like that. It's more of, let's just live, and if it's supposed to happen, it happens. And so, you know, my wife, she's been, you know, she's working, and we work together, and man, she's such a great support system. And she was like, hey, baby, you know, why don't you go get it? I'm going to hook it up. And I was like, boom.
Wow. Nice,
Here it
nice.
is.
There you go.
No worries.
Very cool. And you got an attachment of your wife, the guitar, the music, the writing of the music. So let me ask you, how long have you been in the music business itself? Like, think back to when you wrote your first song that probably sucked. But when was that? Were you like 11 years old?
This morning.
Huh?
This morning is when it sucked, man. It was the last time. All right, no, but the very first song, I still have the riff for it, and I can't put any lyrics to it. It goes. But that's as far as it ever got.
Holy you got to do something with that. People have told you they love it, right? People have told you they love that, right?
Well, it's one of those things, and all you songwriters out there, don't get discouraged. Like, songs will come, and there'll be peace like that. That has been with me for 15 years.
Oh, man.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. It's still, you know, it's still developing.
It's still gathering emotion. Probably is what you want to say, right?
It's still, more stuff needs to happen in life before it finishes.
Right. That makes good sense. To a musician, I think that makes a lot of sense. It really does. Okay, cool. So,
this is just your soul coming through, you know.
And there's no pressure to write it because it's just a natural occurrence. So there's no pressure to really work with it. It's just going to, and you know it's going to come eventually, right?
And that is one of the problems I have, Dave, is you know, I love playing with musicians, but a lot of musicians, they go, oh man, this guy sucks, or, you know, we can't grow with him because you don't get it. It's not about what you're going to do right now. Like, you are where you are. You have to just let go and live life, and whatever is going to happen, happens. Like, 2 to 3 days ago, we didn't know we were going to be doing this interview, but here we are.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Enjoying life.
Yeah, very cool. Now, let me ask you this. You're a solo artist for the most part or for the whole part? You're a solo artist, right? Okay,
yeah.
Now let me ask you this, because solo artist, obviously if you're in a band, and so, you know, you could be off one day. Maybe the voice is not there, or like, I don't play enough. I used to play in the 70s and the 80s all the time, 5 nights a week, which was quite a haul back then, but it was cool to do it. So when I played in the band, and there were times when I'd be off, but because I was playing every night, when you play every night, you kind of build a stability. When you don't play enough, you have peaks and valleys, and you don't have the stability because you're not doing it every single day.
Right.
So now, and so the advantage is when you're in a band, if you're off a single day, the other band members can carry you through. You don't have that option. You don't have that luxury. It's all you. So how do you get through a moment? And there's got to be moments when, like, the voice is not, you just know the voice isn't there tonight. It'll be there tomorrow night, and it was there the night before. But tonight, it's not there. What do you do? Do you worry about that, or is it just a...
No, and I think, see, there's no worries because it's not for me. It's for them. It's for whoever's listening. You know, just like the person who took the time to show up, so did the musician take the time to practice. So they're experiencing this night together. You see the energies have come together and they're experiencing this together. And so music to me is all in the subconscious. You know, you just have to let go. And so when I do mess up, it's like, well, this is life. Mm-hmm. You show me one thing in this world that is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And then you can't find one.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. You talked about, you know, that experience on stage and, you know, you're living that moment with that person that came to see you and you're sharing that entity, right?
Right.
So now you've got your set and you've written songs and you're performing, say, 2 months later. Will you have a new song within that 2 months or not yet? You may not.
Sure.
Oh, you might. Okay, and you probably will. Okay, because I was going to ask you a question like a band that, you know, typically, well, a lot of bands, they write songs, they put on a CD, and they tour that CD. But they're touring it in Phoenix. They're touring it mostly Mesa, Gilbert, Glendale, Phoenix, or Scottsdale. So they've got that collection of music that they're playing for the audience. So now someone comes back and sees you a month later. Since you've created that initial experience with that audience member, now they don't have any newer material to listen to, so it's like the same show again. Right. So how do you bring that lively, new flavor to that person that's heard your show already? Because obviously you want people to come and see you as often as possible, because obviously you want to make somewhat of a business out of music so you can survive financially in what you love. So how do you keep music fresh for the persons that heard you?
Fortunately, I have been blessed with the ability to improv, and that's all I do. I don't have, like, all my songs don't have set lyrics. They don't, I'm just playing, man, and it's like back in the old days, you know, they just went in, they recorded what it was, and went on and jammed, you know, and it wasn't this overly produced, overly thought. It was just music, man, and you grow with your music. And so for me, like, if I really hustle and you know, promote stuff, I could get like a good 50 to 100 people out to a show. I mean, it's, you know, I wish I could say it's thousands, you know, or not. But at the same time, it's just like the music is what it is. And I'm just going to continue going to wherever they'll let me play, and whatever happens, happens. And hopefully I entertain someone.
Yeah. Now, one more question, then we're going to play another song. I'm curious about this. You lived in San Diego, you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And now you're in Phoenix. Now, let me ask you this question, because I lived in Phoenix for a while. Okay. And Phoenix has, you know, to get new, fresh faces into the Phoenix scene, they've got to come, like, from California or maybe Las Vegas, but Phoenix itself is kind of one area. And when you're in the East Coast, like New York City, like I am now, we get people touring in from Boston, from Philadelphia, from all places on the East Coast. It's an easier place to grab new faces. Plus, everyone wants to play New York City. There's been some bands that have come from Phoenix to play New York City because they dig having New York City on sort of their resume of places they played. So now you were in California where you had the opportunity to play the whole California up and down, north, south, right? Now you're in Phoenix, you're a little more isolated. So now, is that a concern of yours where you think, okay, so to take my act beyond where I am, I've got to start traveling, I got to start touring back in the... No.
Huh. I mean, it's this is life, man. I can't control... It's just like you run in, like you meet a best friend out of nowhere. You meet your wife out of nowhere. You meet your bandmates one day out of nowhere. You don't know these people, and all of a sudden you know these people. It happens. It doesn't matter. Like, you see these bands touring for 20 years, and then on a Sunday night at home, you know, somebody's there to see them. And, you know, and that's great. You know, people made it famous touring back in the 70s and 80s because how many bands were really doing it? You know, there weren't that many, not like today.
Yeah, right.
And so you could make a good living off of that. But in today's digital world, it's, you know, nobody's sending scouts out anymore. This is, you got to do it because you love it. Here's one thing that really pisses me off. San Diego, there was no scene. At least I couldn't get on anything. And here in Phoenix, this is one thing that really, really pisses me off. We get these we call them national acts that come through Phoenix, right? And maybe they're decent in their little hometown, but we glorify them, as these headliners coming to these places on like Sunday and Thursday nights, and then we put our top bands under them as if like they're mediocre, and it just like really irritates me because there's a lot of hardworking bands in Phoenix that when these people come through, they should be supporting our musicians,
Yeah.
and it's the same way if we went out to, say, San Francisco, we should be supporting their musicians, like to put these other bands that are not, grinding out on the circuit, every week to entertain the people in Phoenix shouldn't be like put at the bottom. It's just like on The Voice. Those people, they can never be superstars because they're always viewed as these students.
Yeah.
They can never be the teacher, Like, name one past winner from The Voice.
Yeah, I can't. Not that I don't watch the show. But
it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Yeah, and these are good points. And I agree with you because actually some of the bands that I've had on that have been mainstream performers, like recently I had Bad Company on. Do you remember them, Bad Company?
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked them, I said, now, don't you feel it's kind of your responsibility as guys that have made that up there? And I said, I appreciate you guys coming on this show because obviously you probably know that my show focuses on the guys that want to progress to where you guys were and still are because obviously you're well-known guys. People know you when you mention their names. So I appreciate you coming on the show. So I said, I asked them that question, I said, when you come to some of the locations, like I'm in Phoenix now or New York City or wherever, don't you feel like you want to engage with the young guys because they're kind of the people that are going to create their legacy and keep you guys vibrant because it's important to just keep music always growing, always getting people involved in loving a craft or an emotion. So I said, don't you feel like you should be mentoring some of these young guys, taking them under your wing, make sure you hang out because the young guys are all hanging out with each other. They want to hang with you guys and understand you guys and understand what got you there. Understand what your love of music is and maybe what things they can take from understanding you from a different perspective and even in a different time. So I dig what you're saying. I understand that completely.
It's just a shame it's so difficult to get a hold of these guys. They've got multi-million dollars, they're loaded, right? Not all of them. I get it, not all of them, but the majority of it. Why is it so difficult to get a demo out to these people?
Yeah.
What's the big deal? Like,
they were at one point looking to get that demo out, right?
Right.
Can't they think back to those times? And it wasn't that long ago. I mean, it might have been a bunch of joints and a bunch of cocaine from all this time period, but still remember back to where you were and still remember that you care enough about the scene to still be playing. They still care. They're still playing, right?
Right. And then what happens, what happens is we get this music, like if you turn the radio on, it's just so sad. And this is for me, and this is my world right now. This is the world I live in. I turn on radio, and when I listen to the oldie rock station, I know immediately the first note who that person is.
Yeah.
First note, you don't even have to say a word, not even, it could be even a drum beat.
Yeah.
You know who it was. Who are these people?
Mm-hmm.
They're great talents that are on the radio. I get it. Maybe a lot of people aren't going to dig my music. I don't care. But for those that do dig it, that's why I do it. But it's like where's the originality?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I do the show here because, to be honest with you, the guys in the scene currently, it's not hard to find really, really good, talented musicians with great music that's just not heard. Right. And I think if it was heard, there's got to be some fucking station out there that would care enough to take a shot at it. And I'm trying to get this show on Sirius XM, and I approach them all the time, and they know of me, and they're still negotiating with me. And I tell them, I said, you hear all the same old music. There's a demand for new music, and it's out there. If there's a station that latches onto that, and people suddenly they'll say, oh my God, there is some really good music out there. I want to hear more of it. So take a little shot at it, and it's going to grow because there really is some good music out there. And let's hear some good music from you. What should we do next? Second song.
All right. This next song is called Next Phase, and it's about, growing up, I was super, you know, super poor and just in, the world was bad, man. It was just a bad scene, so it was like hell. But getting out of it was great, and so I'm a big dreamer, man. I just love dreaming and bringing and creating things into the world because it gets easier and easier the more you do it. So this song is called Next Phase. This is the next phase, so you press play. Everything I do is plan, watch me and what you say. By the way, living in a world parallel from hell. About to keep it this way, never fight back. All I'm the only song to leave you when I die. Baby, let's get high on love. Grew up on dreaming go, baby, I'm gonna reach for it. Lately I've been feeling like this world is mine. I'm awake, I'm living in a world parallel from hell. Try to keep it this way, but cannot try to fail. All I have is song to leave you when I die. Baby, let's get high on love. So simple, get to loving, baby, I wanna hold you. Do you love me? 'Cause I love you. Let me break on through. Give it to my world, baby, we both win. Do you want me to love you? I'm awake, I'm living in this world, parallel from hell. About to keep it this way, my devil be trying to fail. All I have only songs to leave you when I die. Baby, let me die on love. We're alive, when we die, we can't feel no more. We're alive, let us hug and try. We're alive, yeah, we cannot feel when we die.
Woo! All right, all right. Inspirations for you growing up. Did you have anyone that you looked for and you just thought these guys are cool? I dig
Hendrix
it.
and Morrison and Ozzy.
Is that right? How
That's
about
it.
that? Ozzy
Big
too.
three, man. That's it.
Now Ozzy's interesting because obviously you're not doing a whole lot of Ozzy type of music right now. So
Right.
why originality and just creativity, trueness of
Ozzy was one of those guys that his music is different. People view it as heavy metal, and but if you really break it down, those guys, look at this guy. He not only did he elevate Black Sabbath, then when they broke off, he made great albums with a ton of different musicians. And then you can always go like, oh, these guys are great songwriters and all this stuff. But when you really break it down, it's like, man, this guy was a leader.
Yeah,
Good
point. Right?
He was a straight up boss. Regardless of how the music came to be, he was always on the front line of it.
Mm-hmm,
You know? So that, in that sense, to me, it was just like, man, you just got to do it, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you cross genres at all? Like you ever dig blues music, jazz? You cross interest in other categories?
I listen to anything that catches me. It could be from country to polka,
Uh-huh.
um, to children's song. It doesn't matter. Like if there's a melody to it, then I'll try to play it or try to absorb it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And last night I actually went to a bar and there was some blues music being played. Stevie Ray Vaughan, incredible guitarist in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it plays every note. It's funny because when I was first playing guitar, I used to shred. Everyone they want to be cool, they want to shred, go as quick as they can up and down the fretboard. And it's funny because the first guitar teacher I have his LP because there were LPs back then, of course, right? So I had a vinyl, and I was talking to him, and he's been nominated for 8 Grammys. His name's Frank DeBusolo. You guys can look him up if you're interested in that. So I checked him. I saw him after like 10 years because I wasn't in New York. I was in Phoenix. So I went back to the New York City area, and I brought the LP and I asked him to autograph it. He said, "Oh shit, you've got this. This is when I sucked. All I was interested in doing was playing fast, and you've got this album here. I even hate signing it, but because he said I didn't play with the heart that I have now. So every note now is so important. That one note is more important than the 100 notes." And you probably feel that way because I see when you're playing your song, your mood is into playing that piece of music and getting every note to have the meaning for yourself and your audience. So every song, every note that you write, it seems like it's so important, right?
Right. Well, you know, don't judge the note. Let it be. Just let it be.
Wow.
Like it'll play itself. Like your soul will move you to where you need to be. Just let it be.
Has there been a song? Has there been a song that's been really a song that has like molded you to just any song at all? It can be any artist, doesn't matter. It could be an artist that you haven't mentioned. Can you think of a song that's really made a lot of sense to you and protracted your career to saying, "My God, listen to this song. It's incredible." Catching you off guard on this, I know.
No. There's plenty. You know, people will know that I'm a huge Tom Jones fan. My my mother used to play it all the time when we were little kids, and I would hate it. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Tom Jones again," you know. And so by like 8 years old, I knew every lyric to his music.
Yeah.
And so, but now when I think back to his music, I'm like, you know, yeah, the whole thing of it was, you know, he's a ladies' man and he did all this, but when you break down his music, you're like, man, was he writing this or who was writing this? Like,
who was writing it? Do you happen to know?
No, I don't know. Like, it says just Tom Jones on most of his credits, and like, what it meant to me was this guy broke free of melody. He broke on through.
Yeah.
Like there was, you know, when you listen to his lyrics and his voice and the music, every song is different. Yeah. There's not one song that's the same.
You know, you're right about that, and it's interesting because my wife's Japanese. Japanese people love Tom Jones. I don't know, and the guy really still has a good voice because my wife and I saw him probably about 6 years ago.
Right.
And it's funny. The only thing I dread about Tom Jones is my mom liked him a lot too, right?
Yeah.
So every time a Tom Jones music was on playing, I could just visualize my mom getting hornier and hornier. And
I know, it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing.
Jeez,
but he's got, you know, he's got great music.
Yeah.
I know that it's late and I really must leave you alone. You know, "Love Me Tonight" is a great song.
It is. You know? I remember all these songs because I remember whenever I watched one of the James Bond movies, he did one of the themes from James Bond, Thunderball.
Yeah, Thunderball. Yeah.
So it's pretty good. I like James Bond.
But yeah, man. So there's all kinds of stuff in there. But you know, and I was gonna say with you, because how long you been trying to pitch your show?
About 5 years.
Let it go, man. Let it go and focus on just being you, and they will fall in place. Trust me. Just let go.
I think you're right.
Like, don't force it. Like, don't force it. You're already doing it. You don't need someone else's approval. Just be it.
Yeah, good point.
And everything else will fall in place.
Good point. Good point. And I get that. I get that a lot because sometimes it's funny when I first started doing the show. I used to try to force the show in certain. I used to take, of course, I used to take notes that have bullet points. And
Right.
now I don't do any of that anymore because I figure I got to chat with you guys. For me to direct the show in a certain way is ridiculous. So why would I do that? Because each show, like you said, each show to you is a personal connection. So each of the shows that I do is my personal connection with you, and hopefully personal connection to the people that want to hear you. Right?
Absolutely.
So let's do another song. You got more, right? You got another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do another one. I talk too much. Let's play.
No, it's all good. It's all good. This one is about dreaming, man, and it's called Crayon Box.
Okay.
All these crayons in this box, I'm gonna draw you mountaintops, castles made just for two. Beaches bathing in the sun, dolphins swim along, everyone is having fun. And here I'll draw for you, whatever you want me to, 'cause I can. All these crayons in this box, baby, we won't stop, not until our world is new. 'Cause everything we need is here, baby, in our hearts. Open up and let us dream. 'Cause here we'll draw for you, whatever you need us to, 'cause we can. All these crayons in this box, I'm gonna draw you mountaintop, 'cause I can, with my mind, draw our world one thought at a time. Everything that you need is in your heart.
Woo! Love it. Love it.
Yeah, man.
Very cool tune. I think that was my favorite. Now I don't know.
Big, man.
I just it's interesting because sometimes people say, "Well, who's your favorite band that you've had on the show?" And I really don't. I don't think it's fair for me to judge. I send the music out there for people to enjoy and make their own judgment. But I never feel bad saying I love that tune more than. So that's my favorite tune of you so far in the show.
Man. Yeah. Appreciate it. They are what they are, man, and that's all I can offer. You know. When I die, this is it. This is what'll be left behind.
Do you think you'll write today? Today being Sunday, do you feel like you may write a song today, or is
I write every day.
You write every day. How about that?
Right. There's always something adding. Like real quick, this song I got called "Weird as Hell." It's weird as hell to be alive with the knowledge that one day I'm gonna die. Then I changed the verse up to "Now got the feeling, baby, I just have to say, give me time and let me hold you, baby, let it ride, alright." It was all freestyle lyrics, but we freestyle whenever we want. Give it to soul, baby, let it flow. Hold this rose, a gift in life. You don't know when you're gonna die. all freestyle, baby. Woo! You know, you just gotta love it, man. But anyways,
you're like the comedian that can go up there and just freestyle his comedy up there, pulling people out of the audience, right?
You know, it is what it is, man. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, that's
a Jesse Val show.
That's a certain talent, though. It's not hard to come by that, right? You have to really.
I'm tired of not being alive, Dave.
Wow.
I'm tired of not living, man, and you know all this egos of I don't want to go do a cartwheel in the grass because I don't want someone to see me. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all these prisons that we put ourselves in. I just want to live, man. Yeah, I want people to live.
Cool personality. You know? Good ideas. All excellent. By the way, how do people engage with you after the show here? I want to make sure they connect with you. How do they do that?
Facebook, www.facebook.com/Jesse Val Music.
Okay, cool. And where's your next gig at? You mentioned, I think, the Vietnamese place. Would you play there again next?
FoCal in Scottsdale, Arizona, February 3rd. It'll be 8:15ish. So come out and we'll be rocking.
You know, when I come back out there to Phoenix, because I come out there periodically, I'll make sure I try to hook up with you and check you out live. That'd be kind of cool.
It'll be a scene, man.
Yeah, that's right. Do you do any open mics? Do you do that as well? Just to
I do, and sometimes I haven't been. I've spent a long time. Like I said, man, I just get out there and wherever I am to pick this up, that's just where I'm playing. So.
Wow. You know, it was really great having you on the show. I was really having a blast with you. It was a great time.
No, it was great, man. I had fun.
See, I'm not as horrible as everyone thinks I am, right?
I don't know what's going on, man. I don't care. We had a great time.
Yeah, we did.
And on we dream.
I'll tell you what. Check this guy out. His name is Bud Zunga, and he's in
Bud Zunga.
Bud Zunga, Zunga. I can ping his name to you, but he's in New York, not New York City. He's in Syracuse, New York. And he's a kind of creative artist. He's similar to you in style, similar. But check him out. He's a good guy, too. And he's an original artist. He plays a lot in that New York area. Check him out. I think you'll like talking to the guy. He's kind of unusual, interesting guy.
One of my dreams is I want to play the Village.
Is that right? You got to do it.
Yeah, because Hendrix used to play there all the time. I want to play there.
You got to do it. Come on out, and I'll entertain you out there. I'll walk you around. All right.
Dig, man. It'll be a scene.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with the person that books shows for me in New York City. Maybe you can rap with her a bit. Maybe she can help you out, work something out, and I'll connect you with her.
That'd be way awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
Awesome,
do you want to take the show out with a final track? I'm putting you on the spot here for yet another one, but
let's do one more.
Let's do one more to take the show out. This is Jesse Vail on the Dave Darin Show. Great having you on. Hook up with him. Make sure you go out to where he's playing. Check his Facebook to see where he's playing. And what are we playing? What are we closing the show out with now so people don't hear my voice?
This song is called Grinding on the Stone.
Okay, here we go.
So here I am, holding down my soul, grinding my hands to the bone. I opened up to no return. I'm tired of grinding, here I'll learn. Am I dying? Wasting my life 'cause I'm not waiting. Baby, I know what they are saying. I know that we are playing. We're giving our lives away. I'm tired of working every day just to pay the rent when I can't even say no while I'm living in this city of sin. Grinding on the stone without love. Days come and go. We all lose protection. Grinding on the stone without love.
All right. This was Jesse Bell on the Dave Darin Show. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you get to the guy's gigs because he's got entertainment and heart and spirit to connect with you guys and enjoy an evening with Jesse. Thanks so much, man.
Right on, guys.
All right, talk to you later on. See you again.
Right.
And I'll see you when I'm out there in Phoenix for sure, okay?
Got it, Dave.
Got it. See you later on, man. Take care.